So, as a high school student, I always feel that there's a lot of work to do, a lot of papers to write. And normally, I have plenty of time to finish all of the work. But I like to do them before the last deadline. Is it because I think it's cool doing all of the work before the last deadline to show how fast I am at doing homework? No, not really. It's just the fact that I can't even manage to start doing the work. And I think many of you have faced these situations, not just for high schoolers like me and you guys. Almost everyone in the society have gone through this situation, up to adults, down to teenagers. And we normally call this situation procrastination. Now, procrastination could occur at any situations, not just at writing essays or homeworks, but during daily life. So, taking myself as an example, I am really a big procrastinator, like a really serious one. And what I meant by this is, I never start doing my work unless the deadline is close. For example, I never do my homework on Saturdays. And getting it done Monday morning was actually the best thing that could have happened. Because normally, I can't even manage to finish all of the work because I would be somehow playing around last night. Being a procrastinator is actually painful. It makes you feel that you have mixed personalities. I always say that I will finish this and start doing that. But whenever I have the thought of starting to do it, it's like my second personality just comes in and then just stops me from doing what I should do. That guy would give me ridiculous excuses for not doing the work. It's either gonna be, I have plenty of time tomorrow, why don't I start tomorrow? Or, I already had enough work today, maybe I should take a rest. Or, even if I don't finish the work, I'm not gonna get punished or something, so I'm not gonna do it. So, as you can see, there could be thousands and millions of reasons for me to procrastinate, to delay on things. And excuses sounds best to the person who makes them up. And yeah, that's how it feels to be a procrastinator. Basically, you live with anxiety whenever there's something important to do. Now, if I am really a big procrastinator, a really serious procrastinator, not doing your homework on Saturdays is only the basic thing to do. It's like everyone does this. Now, raise your hands up if you do your homework on Fridays. Raise your hands up. Anyone? Right, not a lot of hands as I expected. So, I'll give some examples to show you that I'm actually a big procrastinator. For example, sleeping. I struggle a lot on sleeping every single night. I've been trying so hard to sleep early every single night. For example, if I'm planning to sleep at 11 p.m. tonight, by the time I get on my bed, it's probably gonna be 11 past 10. And by the time of 11 past 10, I'm gonna tell myself, it's already 11 past 10. Why don't you sleep at 11:30? Now, don't ask why 11:30, because this number looks better. And by the time of 11:30, when I put my phone off, and then when I wanted to go to bed, this time my phone would ring again. And it's either gonna be a WeChat message or an email message. And then this time I'm gonna open my phone again. And then the next time I close my phone, it's already gonna be 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. in the morning. And my final sleeping time would land on 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. in the morning. And remember, my original sleeping time was around 11 p.m. Now, other than sleeping, I have problems waking up. Because I think waking up is like the worst thing that you have to go through in your daily routine. It's just so hard. Like, if I woke up at 8 a.m. in the morning, I'm gonna get off my bed at 9 or 10 every single time. And what went on in 1 hour? Well, I was just playing around with my phone, or I was either having another nap. Some people may ask now, the non-procrastinators may ask, why don't you first get your teeth brushed and your breakfast ready so that after you get everything ready, you can just do whatever you want. You wouldn't be stuck on your bed. And I was like, okay, so the bed is so warm and comfortable. I don't want to get off, especially in a cold weather like this. And second, getting off my bed is just too much thing to do. I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to do it later. Yes, later, later, later. That's what procrastinators say every single time in their mouth. Later, later, later. Every single time in their mouth, they would say later, later, later. Now, what if I change the situation into that I have to catch a flight immediately? Would I still spend much time on playing my phone in my bed and, just procrastinating? I guess probably no. And what went on here that cured my procrastination? Well, it's gotta be fear. It's the fear that motivated me to quickly get off my bed and head towards the airport, isn't it? So now the new question comes in. Why do people procrastinate? What is the purpose of procrastinating? And what really makes them procrastinate? In order to answer these three questions, we need to know what actually is procrastination. Procrastination is simply a psychological disorder. It's simply just something that went wrong inside your mind. And if I have to summarize all procrastination into three words, it would be fear, unclear, and helplessness. But today, I'm gonna mainly focus on talking about fear, because I think it's the major reason that causes procrastination. Now, as I mentioned before, I gave examples of myself procrastinating on all kinds of things, on writing homework, on sleeping, on waking up, and blah, blah, blah. And they're all, without exception, caused due to fear, but by different degrees. So if I have to give everything a level of fear that I have on, I'm gonna give getting out of my bed a level of 3 out of 10. Because although getting out of my bed is tiring, it is quite achievable compared to doing my TED Talk, which I would give a 7 or an 8 on. So, as you can see, as the level of fear increases, the more time I will spend on procrastinating on that thing. It's like they have a positive relationship. What happens if the maximum level of fear reaches a level of 10, a 10 out of 10? What will happen? For example, writing your graduation thesis. Although you may still procrastinate at the start, but you're gonna be stimulated at the final stretch because you know how important your graduation thesis is to you. Without the graduation thesis, you can't graduate. And that sounds so scary. Now, I've been trying so hard to cure my procrastination, but I fail every single time. I even went up in the internet and looked up ways to cure procrastination. So one day when I was on internet surfing, a video really caught my attention, and the title says this. It says that the 5-second rule that puts an end to your procrastination. And I was like, wow, is this magic or something? So I clicked into the video. And this is what the video taught me. Basically, what you need to do is, whenever you face a situation when you are about to procrastinate, you count down in your heart for 5 numbers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And boom, you just magically start doing your work. And I was like, okay, I don't know how this thing works, but I'm gonna try it out. So I did it the next morning for my waking up. Here it comes, the next morning. I was woken up by my alarm clock as usual, and everything as usual. And by the time my alarm clock goes off, I did what the video taught me. So I count down in my heart for 5 numbers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom. And guess what? I turned my alarm off, and I kept on sleeping. Yeah. And so now I realize that actually procrastination is actually incurable. Like, it's impossible to cure. But don't be sad, because there are still ways that can make you less procrastinating or to delay your procrastinating. For example, when you're working with big tasks, for example, if you have a year project, and you're not gonna try to do all of the work in the last month, right? That's just too tiring and it's impossible. You can't finish it. But what if you split the task into smaller pieces? For example, if you even work half an hour on the work every single day, you're gonna find yourself progressing so fast, because you're doing a little bit every single day, and it's not gonna be so hard to start because the work is not gonna be that tough. The level of fear would be reduced. And the second tip I want to give to everyone is that try to give yourself small deadlines. Now, I know this sounds a bit weird, giving yourself small deadlines. That's impossible, because not everyone can follow the rule that they set for themselves. But still, we need to know that procrastinators' biggest enemy is always deadlines. It's always deadlines. Without deadlines, procrastinators are gonna go crazy. They're not gonna have a time limit, so they're not gonna even bother to start doing the work. Yeah, deadlines. Without deadlines, they're gonna go crazy. So setting yourself a deadline is quite important. Now, it's nearly the end of the speech. I wanted to borrow a sentence I really liked from a TED Talk I previously just watched. It's also about procrastination. So this is what the speaker, he told to everyone. He said that all of you here are procrastinators. Yes, all of you here are procrastinators. Your teachers, parents, students, you're all procrastinators. Now, this may sound a bit offensive, right? Because I think most of you here, or maybe not most of you, all of you here can handle with deadlines quite easily. But imagine a situation where there isn't a deadline. Deadlines don't exist. What will happen? What will you do? Will you still start your work so early? I guess not really. You're not gonna do it, because I won't do it. And yeah, remember, life is short. You're not gonna procrastinate every single day. But you need to know that everyone is actually procrastinating on something in their lives. And now, what you need to do is really, you need to know what you're actually procrastinating on your life. And as I said, if you have a work to do, go do it now. If you want to go and study, go study now. If you want to go play, then just go play. But just don't say later or tomorrow or stuff like this. If you have a dream, go chase it today, but not tomorrow. Or maybe tomorrow. Oh, just kidding. The last sentence I want to give to all of you guys, all procrastinators here, is that once you start, you're halfway there. Thank you.